If you're just getting started into fly fishing like I am, you have no idea what kind of flies to throw. Well, today we're going to learn about Stoneflies that you need to have in your box. All right, Tad, so I'm trying to build out my boxes. Of course, I'm a newbie at this, so I've got a lot to learn, but tell me what Stonefly patterns that I need to have, especially for a beginner.
So Stoneflies are the one pattern we can keep simpler. Whether we go small to big, 5, 6 patterns is enough to cover the whole myriad of stoneflies out here. The first one is going to be a little double beaded stone nymph. These heavy, dense flies get down to the bottom quick, or where you're fishing. Because of that, we can kind of do a 2-fly rig. You can have something above them, but that heavy stone is going to hold you to the bottom.
Right.
Comes in a kind of wider variety of sizes.
Okay.
So the necks are going to be a couple segmented stoneflies. So there's a bunch of different varieties. They're kind of just a heavy segmented body. They've got some, whether they're made from the goose biot or these little crazy legs, a lot of action in there on the side, draw the attention of the fish. The old tried and true, which is going to grab trout's attention from a long ways away, is this patch rubber legs or just a rubber leg stonefly. Bulkier, this is big. You're getting up to the size 10s to 6s.
Okay.
So bigger hook, all that, a lot more grabbing power, and it's going to be pulling those fish away from where they're currently sitting. As we get into the dry flies, the old tried and true is the stimulator. This can do, everything from a large stonefly to the small ones. Best thing out there, great for the dry dropper rig, throw a dropper on it, it'll float it all day long without making a huge profile.
Yeah.
The next one for the winter months is a little Blackstone fly. Small little pattern. These can also imitate the midges, maybe even a blue wing olive that's out during those colder months when the small bugs are all you're going to see. Popular pattern when they're a little bit more finicky in the cold weather. Then the big one, in this any kind of, whether it's a hopper pattern or a big foam bug, when the salmon flies are hatching out west or, anywhere else you can find the big stoneflies. A foam pattern is going to sit really high on the water. You can tie any heavy nymph you want to off the back of that, and it's going to float it really well. And the big gluttonous trout that are just feeding heavy are going to absolutely annihilate it.
So, these patterns right here, are they like time of year specific? Like, would there be a time of the year that I'd rather go with the small one as opposed to the bigger ones?
So yes, with the little Blackstone, that is going to be more your winter months. So late fall, we're talking May, at the earliest, late October, and then they're going to go through maybe March.
Okay.
Here, plus minus with your elevation and whatnot. The bigger boys are going to be mid to late spring into early summer.
Okay.
That's when you're going to see the really big stoneflies flying around. And then the nymphs doesn't really matter. The nymphs are available in all sizes, subsurface year round.
Year round.
So that one is kind of more up to the trout's taste on a particular day.
Okay. Do you have a recommendation on, a certain weight fly rod and tippet size for these?
This one was all going to go well with your 5-foot or 9-foot 5-weight fly rod. You could play around with that, plus minus. If you're on the small water, you could go downsize to a smaller rod, but the 9-foot 5-weight's going to do just fine.
Okay. And we're just targeting these like at any spot in the river. Again, I'm new at this. So any spot in the river that looks like it might break or it might just hold it, you can just lay these right in there? Yeah. Or is it more of a drift kind of thing?
You can't really go wrong fishing them anymore.
Okay.
If they're on stoneflies, they're going to eat them. Where they are in the river, doesn't so much matter. Maybe in that spring, those late spring, summer months, maybe getting them back into some slower, deeper water might entice some trout that are sitting low to come up deep where, smaller flies might not be able to do that.
Okay. And my last question, region specific as far as colors, the colors that might work in the South compared to, say, a Montana or out west in Colorado? Is it just, how does that work?
So colors you can kind of keep simple, some darker, some brighter, fine. It's more about imitating the stoneflies that are available,
Okay.
So when you've got your salmon flies out west, not that they don't have them in the east, but far more prevalent out west. The orange brown is a really common color, orange being a big trigger color for them. One of the most popular ones globally is a golden stone. So it's going to be a yellow shade. So like a kind of more vibrant yellow. That one in those mid sizes from, 16 to 12 is going to be a really good pattern anywhere you go.
Okay, and so I know this, for an experienced angler that knows all this, great pattern, but for a beginner, excellent, easy to cast, kind of present it that way?
Yeah. Nothing special about the cast. They're actually going to be easier just because they're typically a little bit bulky, so no finesse really to it. So beginners can get out there and throw them and be just fine.
Okay, well, I'm going to get some Stoneflies in my box and go put them in the water.
Let's do it.
Well, I hope you guys learned something. I certainly did. If you like this content, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button and click that notification bell. We got a lot of other videos we'll put down in the links below. And guys, check out our Live Well podcast every Thursday night from 8 to 10. We appreciate you, and we'll see you soon.